One. Hey, welcome YouTube land. We are set up.
Shared around, yeah?
Yep, shared around. It's just me and Eric Oakley. No Robert McCall this evening. So we're probably going to learn a lot more other than listening to people gripe about having kids and playing pickleball all the time. Dudes and doing all kinds of cool things. So, all right, so here we go. So we've got a lot to talk about. We've got about a few questions on the Google form, quite a few questions on the Disc Golf Answerman Facebook group. We'll let people kind of get in. Are people getting in at all? Is there anything going on tonight? That's
I don't know.
the week has gone by fast. It's like doesn't even feel like Monday almost.
I have felt crazy. It's been nutty, for being honest.
Nutty how?
So, I don't know. I just feel like everything's been a blur lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like a good thing. It's like a good blur.
Yeah, good blur. Blurs are good. Blurs can be good. All right, let's go ahead and just start recording and hop into it.
I'm ready for it. Let's do it.
Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answerman. I am Bobby Cool, Daddy Slick Breeze. And this evening I have with me Eric Oakley. Robert McCall is out tonight. I'm sure he has some busy family stuff to do or work stuff to do. Dumb stuff to do, I'm sure. All right, so Eric Oakley is on board to answer your questions. We have a few Google form questions, and then I had posted on our Facebook group if anybody had any questions on, what did I say? Oh, Circle 2 putting. So we're going to get some insight into some Circle 2 putting advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like...
Did you play some disc golf this weekend?
I did not play disc golf this weekend. Saturday, I went on a mud run, a muddy dash run.
Oh, I did see you talking about that. How was that?
Yeah, it was fun for sure, but I think I may have overdone it physically because I had started doing. I can't remember if I told you guys. Yes, I started doing CrossFit at the Rebel Strength and Fitness where I do social media work, and I did it 4 days in a row and very intense. Because I ain't no bum. I put it all into it, and then I ran on Saturday in the mud run. And of course, I didn't. Everybody, the people that I went with, some of the people walked it, and some of the people ran it. And of course, I was one of the people that ran it. And like Sunday, I was like fatigued. I was like brain fog and just tired and just felt it. And I still feel a little bit today. So anyway, I didn't play any disc golf, but I got to do the mud run. It was fun, but it was exhausting for sure. Did you play any disc golf this weekend, Eric?
I did. I played in the Tallahassee Open in Florida. It's a disc golf pro tour silver series. Golf was good. I had a kind of a rocky second round, but it wasn't. I had a very good attitude.
Good.
And it wasn't. It was one of those rounds where I was very close on a lot of putts that were tester putts. If those fall, the round looks very different. But I missed those putts that could have gone but didn't. And also I had a couple errant drives that led to a couple just pretty quick bogeys. And that's how that course plays, is that some of the par threes, if you miss, it's like really tough. It becomes bogey territory very fast. And that's kind of just what happened. I put up some solid numbers. I was throwing the disc quite good. I had a great attitude, which I think was the most important thing. And what I realized is that it is just a conscious effort to be okay and happy with everything that's going on. Even if the round is tough, even if things aren't going your way, it is your choice in the moment to be okay with the situation. And I've been using that as a point of how I practice off the course. So in my practice rounds, I don't get frustrated either. I'm just looking at it as, oh, okay, I needed to do that. I need to do this. I need to figure this out. Instead of being like, oh, getting mad that I just keep missing the drive. It's like, okay, cool. Let's think about where we should situate ourselves. Let's constantly be learning how to be better. And that is translating to my game to where I'm even doing that while I'm on the course, which is great. So, had a great time. Albert Tam came out and smashed it. Stacy Haas, a young gun from Michigan,
Nice.
MVP sponsored. She smashed the FPO division. It was super cool to see two new names. To continue on to a couple other tournaments. I think there was 4 kind of decent tournaments happening that week, and I might be missing some, but the Vintage Open in Russellville, Arkansas happened. Joel Freeman edged out Andrew Presnell by a handful. It was really cool to see. Good for him. In the Bowling Green Open, Corey Ellis topped over Paul Oman and Sam Lee. And Christine Jennings decided to go out and crush it in the FPO division, beating Stacey Ronsley. Dutch Napier. I'm not sure if they played the same courses, but if they played the same courses that the open field did, Dutch would have finished 4th.
Oh, wow.
And he was playing Masters. So Dutch Napier, great golfer, super awesome. And then the Charlotte Open, which shout out to the Another Round crew, just absolutely amazing people. Michael Joe, just MJ taking it down, and Raven Klein edged out Paige Shue, which is awesome to see. It's a great win for Raven. I know she's just getting out on tour, so it's really cool to see. Another thing to mention about Tallahassee was I was very impressed with the course. I was very impressed by the volunteers. A couple, Ryan, I believe the other guy's name was Sean.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to give them a shout out. They listened to the show, so they were awesome. It was so much fun to just kind of be able to engage with a lot of people. And yeah, it's rad. It's cool. For me, it's cool to be back because I have this different thought processing that I am very thankful to still be playing, and the opportunities that I have in front of me are awesome.
That's awesome.
I can embrace and love disc golf, and I think it's going to be great. So if the more we have tournaments like what we had at Tallahassee, I think the better things will be. And I just got my first practice round in here for the Champions Cup in Appling, Georgia, near Augusta, where I don't know if you watched any of the nationals of Augusta National this weekend, but it was intense. It was on the TV, and I was just watching how it finished up, and it's cool to see. And to be in a city that has that kind of prestige and now go and play for our own major in the Champions Cup is really cool. So
that's
cool. Course is looking awesome at Jackson, so I'm excited.
So for our audio listeners, Eric Oakley is tuned in from a hotel room, so you're obviously on the road still. So where to next?
So here in Georgia for the major. Next week I will be tuning in from Jonesboro, which will be sweet. And the following week I will be in Kansas for DDO.
Oh, yes.
So, and then that next, I might have to call in early. I might be sick, but I might just be sick because I'm just shredding the road and ripping out to California. Which we can try, and I might call in if that works. But I think there's gonna be a lot of feedback, and I'll be driving for the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and it'll be probably too loud and stuff. So
totally,
we'll see what we do about that one. This will be the first.
Either way,
I just realized this will be. What 2014, 6, 7? This will be like the first in 8 years since I haven't been in Emporia, Kansas, at the end of April.
Crazy, dude.
I know.
Crazy.
But people are staying at my house, so I'm making money, but I won't be anywhere near the event.
You could come up for a day, right? It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. I'd probably come up for a day. Maybe stay at a hotel. Well, that'll be weird to stay at a hotel where my house is at, but
yeah.
Anyway, I'll have to come up and say hi to everybody maybe on the week. Yeah, for the weekend. So, of course, the hotels are going to be jam-packed. What am I talking about? Like I can just...
I'll
just name drop. I'll just name drop.
I booked recently and I was able to find a hotel.
Oh, yeah?
I don't think it's as packed because they cut the field down.
Oh, that's right. All right, I'll have to check it out. If anything, maybe Jeremy let me stay in the warehouse or something. I don't know.
You probably have to put you to work then.
I know.
Send out a couple orders.
All right, let's jump into the questions. Oh no, before we do that, I want to make sure I mentioned Door Disc is putting together an amazing little promotion for the Paul Macbeth Foundation. So there is a $10,000 match, and I'm sure that our listeners are familiar with the Paul Macbeth Foundation, where he's wanting to put in courses in areas that wouldn't normally have access to getting a disc golf course. And so this third one, they're wanting to do one in Africa. And so Shane from Door Disc is a big believer in the movement of Paul Macbeth Foundation and wants to help out. So he has this thing going on where he has a $10,000 match. So make sure you show your support. Go to the Paul Macbeth Foundation, support there, or go to doordisc.com. He actually has it on his Instagram. So go to Door Disc Golf, find it on Instagram, and I'll put links in the show notes for all this. And then the month of April, he is matching up to $10,000 of donations made. So do it before the end of April. And let's see what he is. I'm looking at his notes. This will help them put a third course in Africa. Also, with all donations, you are entered to win a grip bag and Paul signed discs. So cool. PaulMacbethFoundation.org or door_disc_golf on Instagram. And if you go to their link tree, so go to their link in bio, and you'll see information there. So definitely check that out before the end of April. And I believe that's all I have as far as any announcements. So the first question comes from G. What up, G? He says, when I grip block, throwing right hand backhand, my throws are a lot more powerful and discs fly like they are supposed to. It feels great to throw laser beams, and the flight paths are great, but of course the disc goes off to the right of my lines. This happens for standstill shots as well as shots with a run-up. Any tips on how to fix this without having to aim way left of my targets? Thanks for all you guys do and great content you create.
I have been using this a lot I did a bunch of private lessons, and in preparation for the Tallahassee Open, I watched coverage from the 2019, which is on Terry Miller Disc Golf Guys YouTube channel, and I watched Johnny McRae throw, and it has greatly impacted how I'm throwing, which is I feel like it's helped me a ton. And what it's doing is I'm overemphasizing where I'm like I'm following through and over exaggerating where I want to follow through. And if you watch a bunch of Johnny's drives, he's so low, he's so compact, and he's so explosive into the disc, but it's all in the direction he wants the disc to go. Like when he throws a turnover and he wants to put it in the gap, he is so exaggerating where it's going in that gap and then just trusting the disc to hold and pull right. You know, he's not like worried the disc isn't going to go right. He is pushing it into the gap and trusting. And I think that that's something that I would look at. If you can, go check that out and try and mimic that, because that's what I've done and what I've been teaching people is like really exaggerate where you want to follow through. If you keep pulling through and it feels explosive on that grip lock, that's just because your shoulder probably is coming and it's just opening up a little too early. Where if you stay in and it's boom, it's in here, this is going where you want it to. Where if I'm here for the visual, my shoulder comes up. Now I'm already off the line slightly. Where if I stay in and I pull and I drive and I stay in this, that's going to be pushing me down the line that I'm trying to hit. So use your front shoulder, exaggerate your follow through, and keep exploding into the disc, because if the grip lock if that power is working, that follow through should help fix your line.
There you go. This next one's from Scott, but it's not really a question. He says he listened to our latest, and the subject of Paul's Hall of Fame ballot came up. Eric went on a mild rant about the PDGA, yet nobody bothered to mention that the Disc Golf Hall of Fame is in no way affiliated with the PDGA.
That's probably a good point. I didn't necessarily know that. I assumed that they were one and the same because the Hall of Fame is at the PDGA headquarters. So
right.
I would say that they're not affiliated. But
would they have any sort of influence on them? Is anybody somebody in the YouTube chat can kind of Because nobody even in the YouTube chat corrected us, and they're usually pretty quick to correct us.
Mm-hmm. I
So
don't know. I don't know. I don't know actually anything really about all that, but I don't know. I think it's to that level of
you think they have an
yeah.
influence? PDJ would have an influence?
I don't think it. I don't think it was any slight. It just was. I don't know. Like they either one put Paul's name on too early, or
Right.
two, like it should have been a no-brainer to put Paul to vote Paul in. Like that's just how it should have worked. Like that it was, and then they created the Hall of Fame created weird rules behind it with it that don't matter. Like I understand we look at other sports and other things for guidance, but why do we need like don't look at that for law, look at that for just for guidance. That's it. Make your own decisions because it does look poorly if Paul is a second ballot Hall of Famer because he's
Oh,
going to be he's is at the moment and it could continue to be the best we ever see for a very long time.
oh yeah, for sure. All right, let's move on to a real question. John wants to know, I've been playing disc golf for a year now, and I've spent countless hours working on my Circle 1 putting, and as a result, feel it's the best part of my game. Not
Nice.
uncommon for me to go 100% inside Circle 1 in a round, and usually go 90 to 95% in my local C tiers. I don't want to change my C1 putt, but it's very spinny, and I have trouble reaching the basket outside of 40 feet. I would like to start working heavily on my C2 putting. Would it be okay if I changed my form just for Circle 2 to throw a straighter line toward the basket, or should I start from scratch with my Circle 1 putt and build it out?
No, I think that you're better off in having shifting between the two putts if you're putting so consistently from circle 1. If you're that good from circle 1, don't change a thing. Don't change a thing because like being 100% from circle 1 will improve your score and continue to keep you in positions to be competitive. And the more you work on what your circle 2 putt will look like, the better you will be. The lower your scores will get. But understand that you're able to run putts as you learn this circle 2 putting, that you're so confident inside of circle 1 that you're going to be able to make the comeback no matter what you do. So as you're working on it, you're still confident that you're just going to jam that circle 1 putt. So even if you take that 45 footer and leave yourself a 20 footer, you're fine. You're going to make that 20 footer and you're going to go to the next hole. And soon you'll start to feel out the things that feel good for your circle 2 putting, and you'll find a motion that works. Like if I feel confident not jumping, I don't, and I just do my normal circle 1 putt with a little more loft and a little more extension, and that's all I'm thinking about. But there are moments where I will do a jump putt, and I feel it out by the distance and how I'm feeling on the day, and if my circle 2 putting is like looking good in practice, then I start to make a decision on what I'm going to do at that point. So I would not change a thing in your circle 1 putting if you're that consistent, because that's elite level circle 1 putting, and that'll make you a better player. And I think Jacob Joran has said a great one. Just land in circle 1.
Just always land in Circle 1. There you go, John. Perfect advice. Didn't even need to go to Eric. We should have just went to Jacob for that one.
Yeah, he had it. It's got us covered.
He got us covered. He got us covered. All right, next one is from John. Oh, John again. No, this is different John. What four discs, putter, mid, fairway distance, would you choose if given the challenge? Course selection unknown, and you have to choose one in each slot to play essentially any course. Robert
Putter,
can't
mid,
choose.
driver.
Robert can't choose his Lotion AVR. How funny. We'll go with you since you get the open bag. You can do whatever you want.
So putter, mid, driver.
Putter, mid, fairway distance.
Oh, so I get 4. Sweet. Alpaca for sure for putting. I probably would go with a D blend alpaca because it would be better as a thrower, even though I putt with the P blends. I would love to have a thrower but I can use the D blends if I need to for putting because they're just that good. The alpaca is a winner. In the next slot, I would be torn between the Pathfinder and the Claymore. but I think I would go with the Claymore simply because it's a better utility disc. And if I need to throw a Claymore to make it fly, I can do it. It's manipulatable, but the Pathfinder doesn't really work for my forehand yet, and I haven't worked on it much. But the Claymore is perfect for it. Um, so definitely uh, that. And then I'd probably go Dynasty in the fairway driver slot, just because it's also very good for forehands and I can stretch it out on some bigger backhands. And then it'd be a toss up between, because I'm choosing Dynasty, I would probably lean more on a Destroyer over a Emperor for like an overstable disc. So I'd want my distance driver to be more on the overstable side, so I could use it on some overstable approaches, um, and or I can just and it's I can still get distance from a destroyer. So I'd probably, the Pathfinder is just barely edged out by the Claymore. Same with the Destroyer edging out the Emperor in that same. So Alpaca, Claymore, Dynasty, Destroyer.
There it is, folks. Danny wants to know if it is extremely windy and I throw a disc into the chains and it comes to rest just hanging in the chains, but before I can remove it, the wind blows it out. Do I have to putt again, or would my previous throw count as completing the hole?
Um, I guess it would just classify it like it's a time frame thing.
What do the rules say?
I don't know. Because it says the disc comes to rest. If you and your card believe that the disc has come to rest, and then a couple seconds later it gets blown out by a gust of wind, then you could argue that it was the disc did come to rest. But that's tough.
In order to complete a hole with a basket target, throw must release the disc and must come to rest supported by the tray or the chains below the chain support. In order to complete a hole with an object target, the thrower must release the disc. Well, yeah. I mean, it
So
came
it's
to
tough, right?
it came to rest and supported by. I mean, that's got to be some big wind, though. I mean, that's like
Yeah.
you're asking
Here's the
like,
thing:
and then if it like a
don't play
like if a
golf in that much wind.
tornado hit and lightning struck and a typhoon blew it out.
Yeah.
So, well, of course, the typhoon would be with water, but it's still with wind. But anyway, so yeah, I would say. What was your answer? You said it
It'd
would
be a
count.
call. I think it would count. Like if
I
you
think it would
legitimately
count.
can say that it came to rest,
Yeah,
then yeah, I say it counts.
I'd say it'd count. Let's see. What is our? While I find the next questions that get here from our YouTube panel, what are your thoughts? Does it count in the scenario as if my disc landed in the chains and then got blown out because it didn't come to rest in the basket, even though the rule says it comes to lay in the chain? All right, let's go over to the Facebook group, and I asked for questions on, on circle to putting, and we got quite a few. Here we go. Andy says, "Oh no, wait, no, we'll jump back to that." Tips on technique for jump step putt: when to throw versus when to putt. How do you make that decision?
It's been based on feel of a distance and how I'm feeling on the day, because there are times where my timing is just completely off, and I tend to do a jump putt over a step putt. Um, on longer awkward straddles, I might do like a straddle where I like step forward on those. Like that would probably be when I step putt, but I don't have the Gannon Burr type of step putt that we've seen be very prominent. Chris Dickerson type of step putt. So I would encourage everyone to practice them all, figure them out. I do a lot of jump putt approaches to where I'm at about 100 feet, maybe more, and I will spin an alpaca, even a claymore, up and jump putt the approach rather than throwing an approach. So I can extend my putting range, even if it's not really putting to make it, it's putting to put it 15 feet away to where I know I can make that putt type of thing. So I would get good at spinning the disc. I'd get good at controlling the angles and allowing it to play. And don't forget about ground play. Like, I think that's one big part of why I love jump putting the Claymore, is that I can really spin it out there, but it's a premium plastic disc. So when it hits the ground, I can get a little bit of scoot. I can get a little bit of play. So it works out nicely. Have you worked on your circle, like longer putting at all much, Bobby?
Me? No.
Yeah.
I need to. I need
Yeah.
to seriously do that. Yeah, I haven't done that. I haven't like worked on anything. I've just gone out and like just played very casually with my
Dude, you guys
grandson.
should play catch. You guys should really play catch. Like before you go play, I
Yeah,
think it would help you guys out a ton.
maybe I'll
Like
do
get a
that next time me
bite.
and him go play. Yeah,
I think that'd be great, dude. I think it really would be because like it just helps you spin the disc a little bit better. Like
yeah,
even like real close, like yeah, it's great.
yeah. All right, the next question comes from Eric Oakley. How do I make more C2 putts?
Hey,
Hey, I'm just
great
reading
name.
what I see.
I bet this dude is like crazy,
Yeah.
crazy good looking too. So
It seems the way he answered his question, he seemed like a very handsome young fella.
yeah, I know. So oh man, I wonder the same thing because there are times where the basket looks huge and there are times where the basket is tiny. I there will be I've gone on stretches to the my best year to date. I was one of the best circle one putters, and I was like without a doubt one of the worst circle two putters. But I did not miss comebacks, and that was fine because I was making everything. And I but the hardest part is what I was one of the best players of getting to circle two in regulation. So I had a lot of circle two putts, but I did not make many of them. I remember I think it was over European Open, Worlds, and USDGC that I made like 6 circle 2 putts over those rounds. Over those 3 tournaments that are 2 4-round majors and a 5-round major, I made 6 circle 2 putts, which is that's crazy to think. And a lot of players like you're saying that many opportunities and so it doesn't necessarily matter. Like going back to the guy who mentioned that why he's so good at circle one putting. It's like yeah, you can play outrageously good golf just by making your circle one putts. So yeah, I just keep trusting the motion, and that some days I'm going to be on, some days I'm not. And if you're not, pray that those are circle two putts for birdie, and you're still getting your par, and then move on. Like just par is not a bad score, and you know that when you have those days when you get super hot, that the score is going to be nice and low.
Gotcha. All right, next one is from Dean. Does adding more spin help with longer putts? Should I hold the disc with a hyzer angle for longer putts?
I don't think you should hold it with a hyzer angle. I think you should work the angles. I look back at the. Do you remember the putt Jeremy Colling made to kind of force the playoff with him and Paul at the Memorial?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember what the putt I'm talking about? He like throws this like arcing full flight, like it had Anheuser, then flexes back and goes in the chain. So I think learning to play your angles is really important for putting. Spinning it, yes, can help on distance, but it will keep it in the air longer. So if you misjudge the angles and stuff like that, you can go from a 45 footer to a 30 footer because you put too much spin on the disc. So it's I just like I was talking to you, Bobby, is learn and play catch, control your speed, be able to be able to throw something a little nose up, so it's not running past the basket. Being able to change your angles and seeing how things fly at slower speeds will be so good.
Almost like maybe like a finesse with your spin.
Yeah,
Just like
totally.
a hard spin, but more of feeling that finesse of it coming
Yeah,
out of your hand with great spin.
and being able to like throw lofty putts and using the air time to also get you there. Like I
I used to
don't
love
know.
doing
I
that with
think
the Aviator,
yeah,
figuring out the different lofts and the different flights, and yeah, it was always
totally.
fun with that.
It's great.
All right, I'm going to jump real quick to Elijah, who put a question on YouTube. He says, "I was wondering what advice you could get me for playing my first amateur national tour stop."
So this is awesome, Elijah. I am excited to see that you're getting out there and taking the leap. understand that when you go into a tournament uh, and are playing disc golf at a new level, that nothing has changed. It is still you with a disc on a tee pad trying to get it in the basket in as few throws as possible. The only things that will change it are the labels that you put on it. Of, oh, it's a tournament. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. But when you break it down to the simplest things, it's the same that you've done when you first went out for your very first round to go and be on a tee pad and throw it as close and try and beat your buddies. And it's going to continue to be the same. You're trying to make it into the basket and achieve that goal. So don't put too much pressure on yourself. Go enjoy yourself. Learn from every throw, and really enjoy the disc golf that you have at your exposure that you have at your disposal. Really look to embrace the opportunity. If you go in thinking about the score you want to shoot, the rating you want to have, now you're getting into stuff that is going to play with your mind while you're on the course, rather than just saying, all right, I'm going to do my best today. And sometimes your best might not be that good, but most of the time your best is going to be great.
Perfect. Let's see. Travis, what is your thought process when stepping up to a deeper circle 2 putt? That's around 50 to 60 feet. What do you think? Wait. Answer that question first, then he's got another opinion.
On the deeper putts, I think I'm trying to remember that I'm in that place where if I run a 50-footer and leave myself a 30-footer, I feel like an idiot, because I have done something. I have taken a situation and made it more difficult than it needs to be. Because if I were to tell you, all right, you're going to play this tournament, and everything between 50 and 60 feet you will do in 2 throws, would you take that? You'd probably say, okay, yeah, but I might want to make some of them, but guaranteed you got to make it in 2 throws. The moment a 50-footer becomes 3 throws is when is when you start to do something. That's when it starts to devolve and become really bad for you.
Yeah.
So on those putts, I'm really thinking about, all right, cool. I'm just trying to give it the right amount of speed, spin, and height, and just trying to get it to be nice and not leave me with much of a longer putt after that. Because disc golf is about your energy level. If you know that you had to make a bunch of 30-footers because you ran your 50 to 60-footers a bunch, and you had to make a bunch of 30-footers for your pars, by the end of the round, you're going to be mentally drained, right? But if all those 50-footers are 5-footers or 10-footers, you're not going to feel as drained, because that doesn't take as much of your focus. You just step up, tap it in, you're on to the next hole. You're like, that was close. I need a little bit. Oh, I pushed it a little bit to the right. Oh, I just barely came in front of the chains. Like, you're close. So that starts to build and give you more confidence. And even if all you have on the day is 18 50-footers and you cash none of them, you should even par. In most tournaments and places, that should be okay. Like, that should be fine. Especially at the amateur level, even par probably is great. Even if it's not, it's a cool story you get to tell. Is that, hey, parred every hole. So it's like I've actually wanted to see this happen at a Pro Tour event where a player pars hole 1 through 18. I don't think it's ever happened.
Really?
And I don't necessarily want to see it happen, but I kind of do. And I think it would be crazy to see. It's just see somebody's card. It's like 18 pars.
18 pars.
They did it.
I parred it all. Yeah, he said his second point was, what do you think of getting rid of circle 1 and 2 and having one putting area where you cannot jump putt?
Yes.
Oh, that was quick.
I agree. I think the circle needs to be bigger. I think we should start. I think I've talked about this before on this, and I've talked about it a lot in other podcasts and other discussions. I think circle 1 should be extended more towards the 15-meter circle as a starting point, with looking to open it up to a 20-meter circle if it's working. if we feel like we need to go more. But it feels better to go to 15 rather than straight to 20. And 15 meters would be more like a 45 to a 50 footer when you start to actually see people jumping rather than seeing people jump 34 footers. Which, when you see somebody jump a 34 footer, you're like, come on, like, really? Like, is that was probably easier than it was to be a 32 footer.
Right.
And that shouldn't be the case. Like, somebody who throws it to 32 feet and somebody who throws it to 34 feet, those should be about the same, right? But now it'll be 40, I guess it would be 44 feet and 47 feet. Is there much of a difference? And I was like, I think at that point, yeah. If somebody from 44 is still having to stand still and the 47 is probably similar, but I don't see a lot of steppers and jumpers just jamming 47 footers over and over and over again, like I do see them making 34 footers like they're 20 footers. So, and circle 2, you could say, could open up from that 15 meter circle. That circle 2 could probably be closer to 75 to even 90 feet into that. So you do circle 2 being 30 meters. So you do 15 and 30 from 10 and 20.
Jason had a good idea. He said removing circle 2 and 3, instead have a 10-meter circle, a 20-meter triangle, and a 30-meter square. So that would make for interesting golf for sure.
It definitely would.
All right, next
Definitely
one. Barring water or potential sloped rollerways, should we man up and run it for C2 putts whenever possible? I've been playing for 14 months, and while I keep score, I'm trying to improve quickly to laying up for safe tap-ins. While smart won't get me extending my range, although probably should save me missing return putts. Should range confidence be determined in putting field practice, course, or both?
I am very sorry. I'm going to need you to repeat some of that because it felt confusing. My brain was in 3 different directions, so I feel really bad. I'm sorry.
Barring water or potential sloped rollerways, should we man up and run it for a circle 2 whenever possible? I've been playing for 14 months, and while I keep score, I'm trying to improve quickly, so laying up for safe tap-ins, while smart won't get me extending my range. Although probably could save me missing return putts. Should range confidence be determined in putting field practice or course or both?
Okay, so play smart. You'll know when you need to run putts. In your practice rounds is the perfect place to recognize when you can and cannot run putts. And in practice, run everything. See the mistakes so you can learn to not make those same mistakes in the tournament. And yeah, that's where you'll get better. And you can practice them in your field work or putting practice. You can practice longer putts and get used to it. But it's better to make good golf decisions. Like, you'll see top players make good golf decisions by laying certain putts up that they know they shouldn't run. Uphill, not uphill, like tight OB from 50 feet with OB that's, really close, or a slope behind it. It's the same concept that I talked about those 50 footers. I don't want to have a 50 footer turn into a 30 footer. That's not what I'm here to do. So I think it's important to work on, and it goes back to a couple of the other questions that we had about learning and trusting your angles, and just being able to throw the right putt for the situation.
Gotcha. Let's see. Joshua Fritz says, "Man, I sure would love to win that Combat Ranger bag." What is Joshua talking about? Let me tell you, folks. We are giving away a Dynamic Disc Combat Ranger bag. Last time I looked, we were about 110 subscribers away on the Dynamic.
102
on the Disc Golf Answer. Wow, we got some more on the Disc Golf Answer, man. Did you hear that little knee-jerk reaction? I said on the Dynamic Discs YouTube. No,
dude, it's been ingrained for too long at this point.
The Disc Golf Answer Man YouTube channel. We're looking to get to 1,000 subscribers so that we can hit that milestone. And we're giving away. Eric Oakley is giving away a Combat Ranger bag for that. So, yes, hopefully we get there soon, Joshua, and maybe your name will be picked because we'll pick our name from the 1,000 subscribers to win that. Do you change your stance?
I could win my own bag.
Do you change your stance at Circle 2 for more power, or do you keep the same stance and just put more spin on the disc and spin on the disc / change the angle at which you putt?
So it's crazy because I actually been working a lot on putting
Yeah.
just as I've been getting back, and I think I've found a motion and feel that feels really good. And I've been keeping my feet closer together. I'm still doing a staggered stance, but it's like almost a hybrid, close to a straddle. Um, uh, and yeah, I think I kind of go to a straddle jump when I do more jumps. So if my feet are like here, let's do it this way. My feet are generally like this for a normal putt, where they're actually pretty close, and I use my weight where I go down and push into it, and the back leg comes up. Where probably on jumps, my foot probably comes closer together, knowing that I'm going to leap forward with both of my feet. I know that's kind of visually very weird, but I hope that makes sense. Is that I have been, because I used to have my feet very far apart, and I would rock back on this back leg and then push into the front and really look to putt, and that wasn't working for me. I felt like I was off my line a lot, and I was doing just a lot of extra motion. So now I've just been going down and then focusing on the extension of my hand to be how I make putts, and I've been thinking about that extension of my hand on the jump putts too, and it's been helping keep the disc on line. Even if I don't get the speed right, at least the line is right, and that builds confidence.
Okay, let's see what this is all about. Shane from Door Disc. Thank you, Door Disc, for all you've done for the Disc Golf Answerman show. He said, let's talk step putt. Mm-hmm. And this is along the lines of another person with opinion of getting rid of. He says, I think inside circle 2, it shouldn't be allowed.
Okay.
And if you're putting with anything but a judge, you're doing it wrong. Okay. No, and then Logan gets in and says, I second this. I hear the comment of people saying putting is getting too easy for the pros. Is it, though? I can think of 5 pros who really are elite putters all the time. Make circle 2 in no jump step putts, and I think that would really add that scoring separation.
I agree.
Really?
I don't agree. I agree with we need to make the circle bigger. It's kind of what that is. There's no jumping inside of a certain distance. It should definitely be bigger. I do think jump putting and step putting are a part of the game, and a good part of the game, because it is a skill that players have practiced. And I think moving things out as the game has gotten, as the players have gotten better and scoring is getting lower in different situations, I think it's really important to think about that as a thing. Like, why has the NFL's uprights changed and the football changed over the years, and rules have changed? Same with the NFL. Same with everything. Everything has gotten different over the years. What's that?
It evolves.
Yeah, and I think that we're at that place where we need to do that as well. At the pro level, at the pro tour level, I think it should evolve. I think that this conversation comes as everybody think that this is a blanket for all disc golfers, and this rule should be for everyone. No, this should be just for the pro tour and majors, and that's it. At least as a starting point. And at every other event, keep the 10 and the 10-meter circle as what it is. But if you're looking to go to a pro tour event, you need to be practicing from their distances as a way to help bring the game upward. Same thing as college basketball. This is I think that the term that I like to use the most is college basketball's 3-point line is different from the NBA's 3-point line. So when college players go to the NBA, they have to learn to shoot 3-pointers from a different shot, because maybe their sweet spot is now a 2-pointer. And that is a huge difference of what they want to be doing. And, with the way the game has gone, 3-pointers are king. So I 100%, Brian Pilcher has a different point. And this is something that I guess I'll just, if you don't mind, I'm going to rant about. Different rules for the Pro Tour would mean the ratings can't count anymore. Great. Wonderful. We don't need ratings. We really don't. We need a ranking system that ranks the players in a proper way, and that's it. Ratings are something that we as players care about a lot. Even at the pro level, we care about a lot, but it really has no impact. It shouldn't have as much impact, and it like ratings are we should get rid of, and have a ranking system for the players who are playing on the pro tour.
Has there been
So
any talks that you've heard that that's becoming? I mean, like,
no,
I know that
because
would
the
be pretty
PDJ has
tight.
spent too much money on the rating system.
Yeah, yeah,
So I don't see it ever happening, but I think if the Pro Tour keeps going, like we just need to stop putting ratings on stuff. We just need to stop doing it. And if there are different rules, great. Great. Let everything be an X tier. Then that's a great place for the Pro Tour to have ratings not matter.
yeah.
And I think that Pro Tour and stuff like that should be more of a qualification process through local events that allow you to earn your place to participate in Pro Tours and different things like that. Like the Silver Series is offering, they could be great places for people to qualify to play more Pro Tour events and be able to get into that category where you're not having to have a rating to qualify for something. So it's the rating system is a fantastic amateur placement, and it also helps you understand when you're probably ready to start playing professionally. It does that well of putting you in a specific division. So I'm not saying the rating system is bad, but once you get to the point where you're already a pro and you're already shooting rounds that are these crazy numbers, like it doesn't matter. It just doesn't. It just starts to not matter.
Yeah.
Like it really doesn't. And it's just this. It's an arbitrary number that is next to people's names because I could go, I could go and play this weekend, and win it. But based on the ratings, I shouldn't win. And that's why it's stupid because I can win this weekend. And if I go and play my best golf and I have my weekend, I am definitely in contention to win. But I'd be playing outside of my rating, but that's fine because I've played well above my rating, I've played below my rating. It happens.
Yeah.
Players do it all the time. So, yeah, it's a good average to figure out where you are, but it just doesn't fit what we need. And yeah, just to I appreciate Ryan for saying that because it is an important factor to keep in mind. But at the pro level, we don't need ratings.
Yeah.
We really, really don't. And I think it would be better to have better rules at the pro level to see the sport go farther,
Yeah.
to get better, to get more challenging, and to also be something that is you understand is a something you have to prepare for when you get ready for the pro tour is that it is a higher expectation of each player. So I think that would be great.
Tracer, this is an interesting point. Do you think this happens in your opinion, Eric? He says ratings prevent pros from playing, which is bad. Locals won't come to leagues or C tiers because they have to guard their rating to make sure they can get registration preference.
That's accurate. That's accurate.
Really?
I really don't play any C tiers or anything like that because I play an okay round of golf at a C tier, 975. I play an okay round on a pro tour, it's probably about 1010. And that's just because I'm the propagator and things like that. So if I go and play those events, I have to play really, really well
I
to
never thought
even
about
get
that
my
way.
rating. And it's a good point. And if we didn't have to think about it and it was a ranking system, I'd probably play some local events more. And maybe we do have a rating, but when we go and we're playing for the Pro Tour, it doesn't have anything to do with ratings. It has your ranking.
Yeah.
Even if you were unranked, you are unranked. It just don't have a number there. And that's fine. Go for it. If people want to go see what my player rating is, they can go to my PDGA profile. It shouldn't be this prominent number that's always next to my name and always this thing that people care about. I'm beyond ratings. I encourage, if any pros are listening to this, and I don't know if they are, but any pros listening to this, after your rounds, stop looking at what the rounds are rated. Stop caring about round ratings. The sooner we, as a touring professional community, start to care less about round ratings, the sooner we can be beyond this and into a better system that fits what the Pro Tour is trying to do and guide us into the futures
It
as
is kind of
to
hard
being
though
a
when
better system.
everything is all about it.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I agree with you. Though.
Yep. Yeah. Gosh dang it, dude. Gosh dang it. This guy. All right, everybody have a great one. Is that good? Bobby roasted me hard. I'll see you later. Dang it, man.
So for our audio listeners, with the new software that I have, I was able to pull up and put his rating right under his video. I need to take a picture. Hold on. Let me take a picture and post it. That's awesome. Okay.
Well done, Bobby. Well done.
Well done. Okay, we'll get rid of it. All right. Okay. One last question. Let's see what we got. Alan wants to know, how is it possible to break your hand, come back in record time, and then finish top 25 in a Pro Tour event with a brand new bag? Now that's a question that needs an answer.
It comes from hard work and having a wonderful support system. I can't thank Tina enough for just being the best human I know. I have such an amazing community that has been built through my Discord and my friends and the people I play with all the time. Zach Benson, Ryan Bueno, Michael Morgan, and Scott Watson, guys in the Pensacola area that just helped me kind of feel out and how to get better and be back at it. I really do think that that support system extends to companies like Infinite and ThoughtSpace and Upper Park and Birdie Fuel. I'd lump you into that as well, Bobby. You've been somebody I've been able to talk through this process that has been just awesome. And I'm going to be better. I'm going to do a lot of things to really enjoy the game of disc golf, because sometimes you're not sure when disc golf might be over for you. And I had those thoughts that, man, what if I had a disease that I didn't know about my bones just don't heal? My career could have been done right there on the spot. And I'm lucky that that's not the case. My hand is feeling fantastic. Strength is up. I just have to deal with these blisters on my fingers. So, because I'm just sanding it so hard. So, yeah, remembering that things could be worse, things could be different, and yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm gonna be better for it, and I appreciate everybody for the support.
Just make sure you be in the moment, enjoy the moment, learn from the moment, because good or bad, this too shall pass. So if you're in a bad place, just keep putting in the work, keep doing what you need to do, keep going, because this too shall pass. And when you're doing great, don't get stuck there. Don't think you don't have to put in the work. Don't think the work is done. The work is never done, because this too shall pass. So
I love it, Bobby.
Yep.
Thank you. That's really good.
All right. So, Matthew put in something. He says, real quick, I don't have a question, but rather a comment. The vertical plane on which you keep the disc when putting circle 2 is what? Waist to shoulders? How are you going to say I don't have a question, but you put something with a question mark?
No offense or anything, but you're ugly.
Remembering this when far away elements, those way too high falls 45 feet left jumpers, finish forward.
Okay. So I think I understand what he's saying is where should I be? Do I reach back farther, lower on
I
some
don't know,
longer
because
putts
remember,
to
he
get
doesn't
more?
have a question.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Get him, Bobby. Keeping it real. Love that from Chaser. So I don't think I change where I reach down. I think I probably keep it in the same spot, but I might get a little more leg in on longer putts. So I think about maybe even loading a little bit more, so going a little lower on my squat, if you will, before I jump, to make sure that my legs are completely engaged. one thing I will do is I'll practice that hit point of like spinning the disc out. That helps a lot for if I'm like doing those jump putt approaches like I talked about. I really want to make sure that I'm spinning the disc, like really snapping it and spinning it, allowing it to have a much longer flight to get where it needs to be. So I don't change the plane to not answer his not question.
We appreciate the non-answer. We appreciate that. All right, well, that was the last question. Thank you guys so much for sending the questions and posting on the Facebook group. Fantastic episode with Eric Oakley.
Are you going to play disc golf this weekend?
This weekend, I'm actually going to be in Emporia, Kansas this weekend, going back to check on the house.
Bite or a beetle so you and Eli can go out.
I think he has a beetle.
Dude.
In fact, I know he had a beetle at least because his Christmas present was a Dimax beetle
Nice.
with a picture of him. I took a really cool picture of him throwing off. I can't remember where he was at. He was throwing, but it turned out to be a really good picture, so I put it on that. But
hey, but between now and like the next couple disc golf answer mans, I just want to hear about you guys playing catch.
Okay,
Like, you guys
I'll
will
definitely
have fun.
play catch. Definitely
It's
play.
worth.
We'll play some catch with Eli. Both show.
Nice.
So yeah, people keep saying Motivational Monday. Actually, made me think of something that had a big impact on me. I heard it on a TikTok from I can't remember the guy's name. Is it Eric Thomas? Anyway, he was yelling, doing one of his motivational speech where he's just really hyped, and it hit me when I was doing CrossFit, when I was doing the WOD, the workout of the day. I was exhausted. I was tired, and I was thinking, why did I decide to do this? I was comfortable doing weightlifting. It wasn't as tiring. Yeah, I pushed myself. I motivated myself, but this is fatigue for tired. It was tired. And then what the guy said came to me. He said, "This is what I asked for. I asked for it." So when you're out playing disc golf, whatever you're out doing, and you're thinking, "This is what I asked for. I asked to challenge my body. I asked to push my body beyond limits. I asked, what do I need to do to drop the weight and to lose the 90 pounds that I lost?" And so if this is what I asked for, then I have to own up to it. I've got to put in the work. I got to do what it takes to get there. So even with disc golf, Eric, this is what you asked for. You asked for a life of disc golf, a life on tour. So what does it take to fulfill that and live that out? Because remember, you asked for it.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So, all right, guys. Remember, keep sending those questions. Go to discgolfanswerman.com. Look for the Google form. Submit those questions. And then join our Facebook group, Disc Golf Answer Man Podcast Facebook group. And we'll have little topics that you can ask specific questions on. I have no reason why. Let's see. We should be on next week.
Monday I'm in. I'll be in Jonesboro.
Ooh,
It'll
it's
be great.
tax day. So if you're working on your taxes last minute, tune us in and listen and tune in live if you can. So
Be some good ambiance.
Either way, we will see you next week, guys.
Take care, everyone.